aim to motivate and inspire viewers to enjoy the clothes they wear as an expression of their personality and their beliefs. This is the Slow Wardrobe. Come and have a look. Hello, welcome to episode 69 of the Slow Wardrobe podcast. My name is Linda and I'm your host. I am very excited to present this episode to you this week because I will start as per usual with sharing my latest knitting, but then I'm going to follow it with a special version of the Layercake section this week, where I'll be launching the Layercake Cocoon collection. Sounds interesting, doesn't it? Well, I hope it does. But before then, let's have a quick look at my knitting. So, those of you who follow me on Instagram will already have seen this little beauty come by. It is the Judith Cardigan by Jackie Bogg and knitted in one of her kits, her Hot Butter DK yarn. Gorgeous. The colors that are in here were completely as sent by Jackie in the kit and knit up by me without any alterations. So this is what I was sent in the kit. When you see the colors of the kit on her website, there is more blue in those, in that particular version. I'll show it to you here to remind you so you can see that there's a clear difference between the two. If you want your colors particularly one way or another, do make a point of letting Jackie know. I just got her to send me whatever she wanted, and this is what I got. So, and I'm extremely pleased with it because it's wonderful for the color palette that I like to wear. I'm on a serious chartreuse kick, as you can see, and lo and behold, there is more than one version of chartreuse in this kit, so I adore it. But if you are less leaning towards this kind of color palette, it may be worth letting Jackie know that when you place an order for a kit with her. As I've said before, I have done a little bit of a trick with my the front panels, the button band, because after knitting the button bands, I then decided that I wanted to use this set of arty-farty buttons, which are all different sizes and different colors. And of course, the bigger ones would not fit through my buttonholes. So what I've done is I've backed every button, which is now really just ornamental, with a little button in the back. In this case, my little buttons are tiny little pencils. And the buttons will then go from the outside to the inside, so buttoned inside out if you like, through the buttonholes on the right panel. So strictly speaking, my cardigan buttons the wrong way round. It's the left panel over the right instead of the traditional way of closing a female garment, which is right over left. I don't really care about that though, so I've just gone ahead with that. And the other thing that I've done is I've picked from the kit a corresponding color to the color of my button, as close I could get with the colors that were in the kit, and I have just whip stitched around the edge of each buttonhole in that corresponding color, because I anticipate that I'll be wearing the cardigan open a lot of the time, just throwing it over the kind of outfit that I'm wearing today. And then I liked the idea of having those corresponding colors on either side of the button bands. So that's it complete. I absolutely love it. Like I said before, the one change that I've made in terms of knitting is that I turned the raglan shoulder into a saddleback by finishing the knitting instructions that I got in the pattern and then adding a rectangular piece just to the stitches that are at the top of the sleeve, and then attaching those stitches to the front and back panels as I went along. I will send Jackie the description of exactly what I've done, so if she chooses to, she can add that to the pattern, completely up to her. So I'm adoring it. I love it. Of course, the weather is now great, but I'm actually going to leave the country for a couple of days, and where I'm going, it's likely to be cooler. I'm going to be in Sweden, in the south part of Sweden, so I'm going to take this beauty with me, and fingers crossed I'll be able to wear it there this coming week. So much for my finished knitting. And what you see underneath here, the mannequin is wearing a sneak peek of what you'll see in the Layercake section of this podcast. And I'm very pleased to say that part of what I'm launching there is in the chartreuse colorway. Don't know what I'm doing with the button because it's not actually that difficult to undo, but there we are. Ooh. Still, let me first share with you what I've been knitting on. Again, those of you who see my antics on Instagram may have seen this pass by already. I'm on a sock knitted out of a Garthenor yarn. I did not remember to check the name of it, but I'll put it underneath right here. And I bought these two colors with the intention of knitting exactly what I am knitting at the moment, i.e. socks in a stripy pattern. Bought these two colors at Unravel this year, and have started knitting a sock for husband. He likes his cuffs long, he likes his socks long, and he's got large feet, so it's not the fastest of knits. And then, of course, I'll be taking this with me. I have to replace these. I replaced my sharp metal needles for either carbon fiber needles or bamboo needles before I get on a plane, so I don't run the risk of these being confiscated, because I don't want to lose them, of course. They're my signature sock needles. And I then found myself on a conference call yesterday morning that was lasting for a couple of hours, and there was a lot of passive participation in the sense that I just needed to pay attention and listen. So I can't just sit still and listen or watch TV, for example, and have my hands resting idly in my lap. So I quickly whipped out some yarns that I had lying around here at the studio. One being one of the gorgeous sock blanks that I got from Sharon 5 Moons Yarns. I think I've shown it off here before. And I have put that on a 4mm needle. In fact, they are a set of square Knit Pro needles that I still had lying around in 4mm, held together with a plain black Regia 4-ply sock yarn. So with these two 4-plies together, I effectively create a DK weight yarn, and then by knitting it on 4mm needles, held together, the black and that gorgeous dark rich sock blank, I get this fabric. What you see here are how many stitches do I have? Let me just, I think 48 stitches in the round, obviously with a 1x1 rib, nice and loose. 4mm needles. I'm a relatively loose knitter, as you know. And these are a pair of house socks that are for my husband as well, just to wear padding around the house. We love walking around on thick socks. We've got some rag socks, for example, from Estelle at Midwinter Yarns. I'll list those here down here below. Those are wonderful, very cost-effective kits that are really quickly to knit up. Wonderful gift knitting. But 2 strands of sock yarn held together will do the trick as well. So, and I love the dark colorway that this creates with the black marled in. So I'm not really following a set pattern. I've just got my own recipe. It's just literally top down. And what I am going to do differently with this sock, I normally, if I do a ribbed leg on a sock, I normally just do the whole foot plain. And what I'm going to do with these ones, just to see how it works out, is do the top of the foot in the rib as well, and just have a plain sole underneath, because these are not going to be worn in shoes. So having rib on top of a foot doesn't really matter, because they're not going to be squished down in a shoe or boot. And I want to see what that looks like and how that affects the fit, it being kind of pulled together by that rib. So watch this space. I will show them again next time and show you how I got on. These are probably the two only projects that I'll take with me on my little trip, because I can just quickly whip them in or out of a pocket, and I don't expect to be spending much time knitting anyway, because I'll be playing with my pal all week, so not much time for knitting. It's just the occasional couple of rounds, most likely. So that's it for my knitting this week. In terms of bags, my little project bags, this is one of the project bags that I bought from Trava and Wool. I'll put the name of the website or website link down below. Susanna, who recycles fabrics and makes her own dyed yarns in silks and merinos, and then embroiders these fabrics and makes these gorgeous little project bags, wonderful for socks. I've shown you multiple times. She's made them for me as well in some of the last batch anyway, in some of my herringbone linen, and I still have some of them available on the website if you're interested. The other project bag I fished out of one of my baskets this morning. It's a project bag, and the label on here says "Made by me, lovingly by Gail." I think this was an Etsy purchase, if I can find her back, and if she's still going, I will put a link down below and show you where I got it exactly. Lovely bag, lovely eye for detail. Got my last needle in here. It's got an inside pocket, an open inside pocket. It's got a ring that it can be opened and closed by the looks of things. On the inside, this was a thank you tag that I left on because I thought it was so cute. And it's got a ring on the outside, so you can attach and hang it from a clip, some kind of clip, as well as hang the whole bag on your wrist when you've got your knitting in here. So lovely little bag. I think this is probably either a cotton or cotton linen blend with beautiful print of hairs on it, and then in the same green color aligning. Gorgeous bag. So far my knitting update. I am considering my next garment, probably for myself again. Lots of selfish knitting this year. I will let you know as soon as I've decided what I'm going to knit. And for now though, let's have a look at my big Cocoon launch on the Layercake section. Enjoy! Okay, the moment is here. The big reveal that I've already kind of sneak peeked you into. So not that big a reveal if you watch this regularly or read my newsletter rather. But here we are today, the birth of a new little collection of slow wardrobe garments. And it is new with a twist, because these are garments that are not made out of linen. The idea was born during the lockdowns, when we were all at home in our loungewear, being comfortable, and then having to go out to grab some shopping or whatever it was, walk the dog on the other occasion, and then having to get changed into some day wear. That idea stuck with me, and not really wanting to do that just for a quick run out the door and then come back and then back into the loungewear. So that was one idea. The other was a request that I've had from my loyal Layercake ladies for years already. They were always asking me, what are the fitted tops that you wear underneath your layer cakes? And I was always scouring the market, sometimes going to Gap, sometimes going to Rundholz, sometimes going to M&S, and finding different fitted tops, fitted t-shirts, stretchy t-shirts that were comfortable. But I didn't have one single top that was my favorite. Then we brought out the Love Top, and I thought, oh, this is a step in the right direction. What's missing from the Love Top when I compare it to one of my stretchy tops? Well, of course, it's the stretch. So, stretchy top request for years, loungewear that I don't really want to change out of if I just have to run out of the house. Put the two together and start scouring for some lovely fabric. Now, with linen, I can actually go to a factory and say, I want it exactly this way, I want it woven like this, I want this weight, I want those colors, because my linen sales are just about big enough in order to meet their minimum production runs. I'm miles away when it comes to stretchy fabrics. So I had to find some stretchy fabric that I liked and that passed my stringent demands in terms of quality and performance and comfort, of course. I found that fabric. I actually found it in a shop, and I tracked down the company that wholesales the fabric, that imports it from a mill in Bulgaria. So what I'm wearing is coming out of Bulgaria. It's got 95% organic cotton and 5% elastane. The elastane means that it will keep its shape wear after wear and wash after wash. And why was I so keen for it to keep its shape? Because I want to play with sizes and with tightness of the garments. I always try to design Layercake in a way that you can play with sizes and you can size up or down depending on the kind of look that you're after. I wanted to do the same with this stretchy fabric, and I wanted to stand the test of time and the test of wear. So what I'm wearing is what I would be wearing if I don't fancy getting out of my loungewear and having to nip out. This is one of the new summer play suits, and it's worn over the top of a lounge set. You see one next to me? In fact, you see two next to me, dressed up in different ways. But let me show you what I'm wearing underneath my play suit. So, play suit opens up as it does with the zip at the bottom. No need to drop that or take that off when you go to the bathroom, as we all know. And underneath is a love top, at least it's the shape of a love top, made out of stretchy jersey, and a pair of baggies made out of the same stretchy jersey. So when you're at home on the sofa, you may be familiar with crossing your legs when you've got baggies on and things like that, curled up on the sofa. These baggies won't restrict you in any way. They're super comfy to wear and super easy to wear. And the difference with the regular baggies is that these do not have the bottom pockets, because they are eminently suited to be worn underneath a different Layercake. And the reason that I showed it to you here with a summer play suit of course, is no coincidence. This is exactly how I was able to wear my summer play suit in February. I had a pair of these underneath, staying nice and toasty, so it turns a summer garment into a winter garment with that extra layer underneath. But it's also great by itself. It's got that same lovely line of being slightly longer in the back, slightly shorter in the front. You've got your big pockets so you can drop your phone in them when you're walking around the house. And when the time comes to have to run out, you just grab any of your layer cakes, a smock, a tabard, one of your dresses, for example, a play suit, even a mini tab, throw it over the top and you look perfectly dressed and not as if you're running around in your loungewear. So that's the idea behind wearing the entire set. But of course, any of these tops by themselves can be worn as an underpinning for any of your layer cakes. Those fitted tops that I was talking about. The top I'm wearing here is a size 1, and you can see that it's got that roominess that the size 1 love top, linen love top, would have on me in order to allow me to move. And that's what's different about these tops. In this top, I normally could wear a size 1 if I want that oversized look, but I can size down 1 if I want it to look more fitted. Let me show you. And here it is, a size 0 stretchy top. So it is fitted around the bust, but I still have lots of movement. It's not constricting me in any way. And of course, cut in the same way that the love tops are. So with a slight A-line, so fitted around the bust, but then it flows and floats down the back without catching me and without being too tight. So it can be worn like this over the top of the baggies or any other trousers or skirt that you have and look great while being fitted without you having to constantly be aware of your posture and thinking, is everything in the right place? You can still relax in it. That's the idea, of course, comfort. So you can move in any way, and I have the same tops in all the different sizes. So this is a size 0, but if a size 0 is normally oversized to you or roomy in the linen, then what do? Well, we made an extra small size. You could wear a 00. That's what's right next to me here. In this color, chartreuse color, which is actually very close to the chartreuse that we have in the linen. That goes for a couple of other colors. So this is the chartreuse in the stretchy fabric, and that's a 00. You can see all the sizes and the exact measurements of the tops as well as the baggies unstretched on the website. So then you can see and compare that bust measurement to your own and see whether the top will come up fitted or loose on you. So this is a size 0. My bust is a 41-inch bust, and this is how the size 0 sits on me. I'm also going to show you the same top in a size 3, because of course you can go in the other direction and say, when I'm lounging around, I really don't want anything fitted. I want it all super large and super slouchy. Let's go for slouchy and let's look at the size 3. Size 3. See what I mean? In terms of length, they are all exactly the same. So you don't have to worry that a bigger size is going to drown you if you're not tall. They're all the same length. The reason that looks a little bit longer on me is because I'm filling less of it, so it hangs a little bit more. But still 3/4 length sleeves, nice and roomy, whatever your size, and a really nice combination if you like the more roomy, slouchy, loungy look with the baggies. These are the long, large baggies. I have also done the small regular and the large regular, so the shorter lengths. So, and I could wear these higher up to make them a little bit shorter and wear them a little bit more cropped. If I wear them really high-waisted, if I like that better at home with some nice and chunky socks, for example, nice and cozy. So what about colors? Well, the baggies all come in this nice slate color as a real base color and a starting point, because this is a real departure for me and for the collection. So I've kept this simple. I have a limited number of these and just in the slate in the 3 sizes that I mentioned. The reason that I haven't done them in the small long option is that I figured that the long large option rather than the small long option would work for smaller frames as well. It's just that length, that extra length, but nice and baggy and roomy will work no matter what your size. So small regular, large regular and large long. This is the large long. And therefore the top comes, instead of 4 sizes, in 5. Double zero, the single zero that I showed you, 1, 2 and 3. And this is the size 3. Top is also limited numbers only, just to see and, toe in the water, see how it goes and see what you make of it all. So if you're keen on any of these, grab them while they're here, because I literally don't know how much time it's going to take before I can do another production run. The fabric is not that hard to get hold of, but not that easy either. Same with the production company that manages to match the production standard that we're after, and does it for a reasonable price as well. Made in the UK, but not here in the studio. And that's a bit of a first. We do not have the machines that you would need to properly sew and lock in the edges of a stretchy fabric. So we've gone to a company that specializes in sewing stretchy fabrics, and they've done a wonderful job. I'm so pleased with the result, and they're keen to do more with us. So hopefully, if you like this, I'll go back to them with another order soon. But for now, let me take you through the different colors. Like I said, baggies just in the slate gray. The top comes in 6 different colors, starting with the slate gray, and then next to me here you see the chartreuse color. Then next to that you see one of the slate gray tops in a size 2 worn with slate gray baggies, and one of the white shirts underneath. And then you can see that line of shorter in the front and longer in the back mirrors the kind of line of the shirt. And you can see that you can dress this up and wear it like you would do a jumper, for example, over the top of a shirt like that, or a shirt like you have at home already. So you can wear them as loungewear, but you can also wear them as a sweater or a sweatshirt. The roundness of the neck, the cutout of the neck, is such that it is really nice, but not too deep and not too high. I don't know about you, but I'm really not keen on necklines that are very close to your neck. I like to show a little bit of openness here, and of course you can then fill that with accessories or a shirt or a t-shirt, for example, underneath, if you do like that. And of course that creates another nice layer. But waxing lyrical as usual, I can't help myself. Let me show you some of the other colors and some of the other color combinations that you can make with existing linen layer cakes, just to give you an idea of how these colors work with the rest of the collection. So chartreuse in the size 1, so you can see, get an impression of the size difference. Double zero, and this is a 1 with the same baggies. Let me show this with a different color in the collection. What about bitter lime, which, hooray, blessing of blessings, is back in stock. So the bitter lime, which we use for the palazzos and the tulip dresses, can be ordered again. I'll make sure that the website is set up for that. And while I remember, I also have to tell you that at the moment, we're out of stock of the violet fabric. So if we happen to have any violet fabric, violet garments in stock still, of course you can buy them. But any garments that are not in stock at the moment in violet, you cannot order them, I'm afraid, because we're out of the fabric. Once that changes, I will of course announce it. But for now, no more violet fabric, but plenty of bitter lime. Let's have a look at it. Palazzos in bitter lime. This is the extra large palazzo trouser, so it's roomy on me. In the regular length though, so cropped on me, and something for you to consider if you normally wear the palazzos in the longer length, then you could order them in the shorter length and wear them slightly cropped for the summer, or with their beautiful, very long and high bottom seam, of course, if you want to wear them even shorter, or if you normally wear the regular length, you can fold them up and pin them up if you're worried that they're not going to stay. But they have that really deep hem, which gives them this beautiful swagger, and of course is suitable for folding like this. Lovely look for summer with a pair of open sandals or a pair of slides or some sneakies like I'm wearing. Now let's add one of the smocks or tabards to that, so you can see how this behaves under a smock or tabard of the same size. What do you think of a brick tabard? It was the first color that jumped out on me because it's got green in it, which of course echoes the beautiful chartreuse bright green color that I've got here. And it also plays very nicely with the green that is in the palazzos in the bitter lime. And the reason they play so nicely is because it's exactly the same green. In the brick, the green is shot with raspberry color, and in the bitter lime, it's shot with a tobacco brown color, like a fawn color. So no wonder they go so well. And look how the green gets jazzed up by the beautiful spring bright green of the chartreuse. I love this combination. So let's keep going though, because I'm off piste again already. There are actually 4 or 5, I can't even count. There are still some colors to show you of this new top that are all available to order in the 5 sizes that I've mentioned. So let me show you without further ado. Of course there has to be a black. And this is a size 0 in black, so more fitted on me again. But due to that A-line, even though this is a size 0, worn with an extra large pair of trousers, which of course are baggy and wide, it still doesn't look crazy in terms of proportion. And that is because of the cut of the top. So rather than it going really tight around me, which is what you normally see with tops like this, and you go like, oh my gosh, I want it tight here, but do I want to emphasize my tummy the way I'm emphasizing my boobs? I don't think so. So change the cut, change the look, and relax that body. So here we are, size 0 in the black. And let me quickly show that size 0 again under a size 1 tunic to show you what happens in terms of how it sits around the sleeves. And here it is with the size 1 long blue crossweave playsuit. Not actually too dissimilar in terms of color to the Kingfisher. The Kingfisher is slightly lighter, slightly brighter blue. I'll show a picture of it right here next to me so you can compare them, but still a very popular color. And of course this is in our winter linen, in our warmer, heavier weight linen. Again, if you find that you're wearing this linen in winter and you find it too chilly, so you have the tendency to wear leggings or whatever underneath this weight of linen wherever you live, then of course you can now consider putting a pair of the slate colored baggies underneath, the lounge baggies as I'll call them, and keep warm, well, all the year around. So this is the black, fitted because it's a size 0. Let's keep going with more colors. Next color, white. Back in a size 1, and chosen especially in this white because if I lift my arms up like that, you can see the extra room and the extra fabric. It's beautifully fitted under my size 1 play suit, but you can see that there's more loose fabric around my underarms and around my shoulders, just that little bit of extra space for if you wear it without anything over the top or you just don't like your tops too fitted. Lots of room of movement, beautiful white color. It's proper optic white. So to compare it, for example, with the neutral check, let me grab one. You will find that the neutral check is not quite as white. It's not quite as optic white as the top. Do you see what I mean? It really is very, very optic white rather than the slightly more milky white of the neutral check. Now, if you are into these kind of contrasts, of course you can wear them that way. But if you're looking to mirror the colors that are in the neutral check more specifically, then stick with the slate. That's a beautiful color to combine it with and very close to some of the checks in here. But optic white is an option. And of course, there's black as well. But we've got 2 colors left and they're going to be popular. Let me show you the first one. Dark navy. And it's really a very nice dark navy indeed. I'm wearing it here with a bigger size, a size 2 play suit in the regular length, so cropped on me. Lovely loose look for summer. And of course I can layer this with the baggies underneath if I want to warm up the whole outfit and stay cozy, or if I'm wearing it already at home and need to pop out like I said before. So just to show you a larger play suit, larger shorter play suit, different proportions, horses for courses, depending on what you like. It doesn't all have to be sleek and fitted. It can be oversized and roomy and comfortable on purpose, especially in the summer when you might overheat more easily. You put any kind of small top underneath. It could be one with sleeves like this, upper arms covered like you've asked me for, or a vest top if you wear those as well, or a little cardi over the top. Any way you want to make this part more comfortable and don't feel too exposed, but the playsuit itself can be really nice and roomy and loose. So dark blue, dark navy, the first color. You want to see the last one? All right, here we go. It had to be red, or rather raspberry, like the dress I'm wearing. This is the raspberry tulip dress, and this is the red or raspberry top. This is a size 0. The dress is a size 1, but remember the armholes of the dresses are cut higher, so it is more interesting to consider wearing the tops tighter, a size tighter, to make this all connect and sit very nicely. It all depends a little bit on how oversized your tulip dresses are on you. Because of my 41 size bust, A tulip dress in size 1 is fairly fitted on me. It's not as tight anymore as it was because I managed to lose some weight in the first couple of months of the year. But you can see it's still quite fitted. So in this case, the size 0 top works better to create a really nice and smooth line around the armholes. I'm wearing these together just to show you how incredibly close the colors are. They're not identical, but I am calling this raspberry because tonally they're so close and they go so well together. And it really is a slightly pinker red than our normal summer red linen. Let me show it to you though with our red cross weave, because that is again beautiful together. Quickly before we finish up. And here it is. I've added the slate baggies back in, then wearing it with the raspberry top, the raspberry dress, summer dress in the regular length, and a red crossweave tabard. And look how glorious those colors go together. So that's the lineup. We have black, white, navy, raspberry, chartreuse and slate. And then the baggies in slate to make a whole set. I hope you love them as much as I do. They are available to order on the website now and will go out for delivery starting the week of Monday the 30th of May. Monday the 30th of May is when we'll start sending these out. The reason being that the week leading up to that, I'm not actually in the studio, so I can take your orders, and Monday the 30th of May, all of those orders will go out, and because all the garments are here, they have been produced. This is not a pre-order, so there's no wait. That also means that if you want to add any of this to an existing order that you already have of one of the play suits, for example, then let me know. You don't have to place a separate order. We can send the whole thing out together. So I hope these sets delight you. I hope you're pleased with the idea of these lovely little loungy tops that can be worn with all your layer cakes. I look forward to your responses and hopefully, of course, some orders, and I'll see you again soon.